For all those casualties, men and women lost in all the wars that Canada have.
Keynote speaker of the Georgetown Remembrance Day luncheon, Eric Dowd, shares the story of his father, Royal Canadian Air Force flying officer Ross H. Dowd.
It's a story that represents all veterans in all world wars. It's a story about his particular mishaps during the war. He was hidden in the underground after being shot down over Belgium. It's a story about family, a Canadian story, because my mother and he were part of the two solitudes of Canada, one French-Canadian, one English, their love story and so on. So there's a lot of narratives to share with the veterans and gentlemen who are here today. The plane was hit in the wing once.
Officer Dowd was flying his Halifax bomber over Belgium in 1944, where things didn't go as planned. After being shot down, he was thought to be dead by his wife and family back home, but was able to escape 4 months later. Officer Dowd began to tell the story of his return home, and his son was intrigued.
Because I would hear, sitting in my bedroom, voices at the kitchen table where he and my mom would talk, and later, as I got older and was allowed to participate in discussions at the table with he and my uncles and friends, the story started to come out and mesmerize me.
Eric Dowd began researching further into his father's story.
And I eventually made a trip to Europe and started visiting all the venues and places where my father had been hidden, met people, met some of the underground people who hid him, and since then have done more research to kind of fill out all the facts and details.
Dowd believes the story of veterans should be passed on, so future generations can appreciate the sacrifices they made.
I think it's in the stories of our families, of veterans, of volunteers, that we can connect, that we can associate with the realities of those very terrible times, that we can remember to try and do better, and especially honor those who gave the ultimate sacrifice, their lives, and keep their stories alive. It's one thing that my father asked me to do with all the memorabilia and research that he turned over to me, which I've continued, and that is to keep the story alive.
Reporting from Georgetown, for Halton Insider, I'm Hayden Orion.